Indigenous rights are those which relate to indigenous people, their way of life, their land, and their resources. They are connected in nature and the birthright of indigenous people. Joni Mandrai Wiwi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Hello Indonesia, I'm Vicko Taniady, representative of the University of Jember for Pemilihan Mahasiswa Berprestasi 2022. In this great moment, I will explain SDGs Goal 2, Zero Hunger, by focusing on indigenous people by expressing this informative speech. My presentation will be divided into three parts: background, problem, and solution. Zero hunger is the SDGs number 2 that must be fulfilled as soon as possible because hunger is a problem that can cause other issues such as reducing community performance and causing high crime. However, the problem of zero hunger has not been solved until now. Indonesia Global Hunger Index published by the International Food Policy Research Institute, Indonesia's position has decreased from the minimum hunger level of 19.1 in 2016 and 22 in 2017. People who often face hunger are indigenous peoples. The reason for hunger in indigenous people is that the ulayat land that is used as a place to find food is now often converted and damaged by related parties. One example of the case of indigenous peoples hunger is the Suku Mause Ane in 2018. This happened because the ulayat land was destroyed due to business interests. Furthermore, development often carried out in the name of the public purpose under commercial interest have damaged ulayat land and converted them for business purpose. At the same time, ulayat land has been recognized in Article 80B, Paragraph 2 of the Indonesia Constitution. So, a big question is, how can they survive? How can they eat? And how can they build food security if the ulayat land, which is the fundamental factor for their survival, is destroyed? This, of course, will impact hunger. One of the best solutions to overcome hunger in indigenous peoples is to protect ulayat land. Therefore, I propose the need for the adoption of free, prior, and informed consent or FPIC. FPIC is principle adopted in the United Nations Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People. The elements of FPIC are: the first, free. The indigenous people have the right to decide on policy or development plans without any coercion from anywhere. Second, prior. The decision-making is carried out before the policy or development plan is carried out. Third, informed. The indigenous people have the right to obtain information transparently related to policy or development plans. And fourth, consent. The agreement reached by the indigenous people by collectively respecting customary law. Through FPIC, where indigenous people have the right to determine their customary right, I believe that indigenous people are no longer hungry because they have the right to manage their ulayat land as a living and a place to find food. However, the concept of FPIC is still not regulated in Indonesia today. So, we need to adopt FPIC in the Indigenous Peoples Bill, which should be ratified as soon as possible. On the other hand, it is necessary to establish a national committee for indigenous peoples to oversee the implementation of FPIC and protect the right of indigenous people in Indonesia. This is my presentation on SDGs Goal 2. To close this presentation, allow me to express the notion where I support indigenous people around the world. Thank you.